This Jocks 94.5 podcast is brought to you by Millennium Satellite and Video. Log on to msbnow.com. TV excellence everywhere. That's Millennium. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning starts now.
All right, we do have the dry needler here. He's in the building, so Greg's getting stuck next segment. Before we do that, we need to talk Tennessee football, get some updates from Austin Price on what's happening around Knoxville. We'll go to the Higginbotham hotline now to welcome him in. Goodness, you see the get-up he's bringing?
Oh, my gosh. Did
he bring a table?
Is that a table? Are your needles sharp?
He needs to lay on the desk. We don't need him on the all right, you're going to need some time getting set up. So go ahead and start getting set up because he's got to be on that microphone. Okay. So that's it. So you know what? You could move that chair and you can set up that table next to this. We're going to talk Tennessee football with Austin Price for just a moment.
Hey, buddy.
Austin, how you doing today?
Nice to meet you, dude.
I'm doing great. You?
We're doing well. Greg woke up with some issues in his neck, so we have
a lot of issues.
A guy coming in to potentially dry needle him on the air. So that's going to happen next segment.
If I'm a candidate.
You're a candidate. It's happening. It's going to happen. We're gonna do it. We're gonna make it happen.
I'm not excited about it.
But Austin, what's the latest there in Knoxville? We know the starting quarterback situation, other health concerns, other personnel concerns heading into this matchup with Syracuse.
I don't know. I'm pretty shaken up by the fact that somebody's getting dry needled. It sounds painful. Tennessee's a pretty healthy football team heading into this matchup with Syracuse. I mean, they got a few things and with guys like David Hobbs that are going to miss this football game. But for the most part, especially on offense, they're a healthy football team heading in and a pretty confident football team heading into this season opener against a Syracuse team with more unknowns than Tennessee has unknowns, and Tennessee's got unknowns.
What do you think are the biggest question marks that you're just really curious about? Because with me at Tennessee, it's got to be offensive line. I think the quarterback, I think I know what I'm going to expect there. I think I know what I'm going to get from the defense. I think I know what I'm going to get from the running backs. I even think I know what I'm going to get from the wide receivers. But the offensive line, I'm legitimately curious just because of how good I thought they were at times last year. So what is the thing that you're most intrigued by?
For me, it's wide receivers because they have very little depth there. They have no really proven commodities there. They have a lot of young talent that they like, but they've not, taken it to a game field in college yet. Chris Brazel's the only one with any kind of meaningful, long-term reps. Mike Matthews played a couple of spot games last year. Braylon Staley played there at the very tail end of the year, and after that it's true freshmen or transfers that didn't play a year ago at the college level. So for me, it's wide receivers. Offensive line, I get where you're saying because the Tennessee had a veteran group last year, but when you think about it, John Campbell's not on an NFL team. Cooper Mays is not on an NFL team. Javonte Spraggins is not on an NFL team. Andre Carrick's not on an NFL team. You're bigger and more explosive at the offensive line than you were a year ago. David Sanders has been that guy in fall camp at this point. Does it translate to games? We'll see. But, he comes in with all the credentials as a five-star offensive tackle. Lance Hurd's lost 30 pounds, Greg, and I think that's going to help him tremendously. He's real focused. It's all a contract year with NIL these days, but this is the big contract year. If he plays well and can go to the NFL, I think he's really motivated. The question is the center position. They've not named it, but I expect it to be Sam Pendleton, the Notre Dame transfer, mostly because he's been able to most efficiently and most routinely get his snaps down in fall camp more than William Satterwhite has. And then I really like him at guard. Jesse Perry's a redshirt freshman, and Wendell Moe played 3 years at Arizona and has been maybe the one guy that everybody on this team literally just goes, that guy is unbelievable. So I get where you're coming from if you're not here every day. I'm not as worried about him as maybe some of the others are.
All right, so the offensive line sounds like it's not as big of a concern for you. How much do you think the tight end group can help them out? Because that was a group last year that I think if people pay close attention to it, realize they added a lot. And just because they didn't have, combined 80 catches for 1,200 yards, that's not really where I was going. Can the physicality come from them to the point to where it gives them what it gave them last year running the football?
Absolutely. I do think you'll see a lot of 12 personnel. They dabbled with that to begin the year last year in that NC State game, and then they had so much success with it, they just kept doing it, and that became really part of the identity of last year's team. So I do think they can do that. Miles Kitselman's ready to go. He'll be ready for Syracuse on Saturday. Ethan Davis is a year further along in the program, and they have two talented freshmen that they really like in Jack Van Doorslayer and Desan Brame. Van Doorslayer physically is like an upperclassman. That's what he brings to the table. He was a defensive lineman in high school that dabbled at tight end, but his position at the college level is always going to be tight end. He's had a really good, strong spring, a really good fall camp, and then Brame's put on 30-plus pounds as kind of that twitchy receiver guy who's now going to be playing tight end. He's still got to learn the physicality. But, yes, this is, I think, a really talented tight end room that I think can help the offensive line as they continue to progress as well.
How would you assess the wide receivers and the growth there, just in general across the board?
A lot of unknowns.
Yeah.
A lot of unknowns. They've been creamed up most of fall camp. I think it was until last week that their quote top three would be Chris Brazel, Mike Matthews, Braylon Staley. And it was until last week before all three of them were on the field at the same time. Because they've been, you had Brazel had a little bit of a knee scope type cleanup thing in July. So he missed the first part of fall camp. Braylon Staley had a hamstring where he missed multiple weeks and then just finally got back in the last week out there on the practice field. And then Mike Matthews has even missed a couple practices with a little bit of a knee thing. So they've kind of been, banged up a little bit, but they look like they're ready to go Saturday. And, they've got a lot of young freshmen they're going to have to throw in the deep end at wide receiver as well, like Rodarius Jackson and Travis Smith.
All right, so you've kind of laid across some of the concerns about the offensive line being taken care of. Quarterback, we've kind of pushed that to the side. Health seems to be okay. If Tennessee does struggle in this game, maybe even finds a way not to win this game in the opener against Syracuse, why would that be? What would your concerns be going in where maybe they do find a way to let some folks down week one?
Well, I think, it probably would be the quarterbacks and receivers. I think Tennessee's effectively going to be able to run the ball. They've done that no matter who the running backs were under Josh Heupel for 4 years. I don't think that changes. I think the running backs, you don't have that one bell cow like you had in Dylan Sampson a year ago, but you have a kind of a by committee group that has different strengths. You have Deshaun Bishop, you have Peyton Lewis, and you have Star Thomas, and they all kind of bring a little something different. I would tell you it'd probably be the quarterbacks and receivers. If Tennessee doesn't win this game, that means Tennessee had a bad day at those two spots, in my opinion, because I think you're going to get quality play out of the defense. I don't worry about that group. I'm more worried about Tennessee's ability to score, and it all starts and ends with the quarterback. Again, they've had a nice close to fall camp, but those two spots, you're just not going to know until you play games. Play Saturday, play next week, and then get to Georgia in 3 weeks.
Finally, as you look at the defense, I think the D-line's going to be great. I think all of us do. I'm not concerned about it. I look at everything else they have. You got to feel good at second level. I think second level's got a chance to be big time. I think secondary, assuming the full health of the corners, should be great. Is there one area defensively where you're concerned?
Safety, just because you're just not as proven back there. Andre Turrentine was a starter a year ago, and then after that, it's Idris Farouk, who's going to be in his second year at Tennessee. Caleb Beasley, another second-year player. Those two will be your second and third safeties. After that, it's a true freshman. So they're less proven in the back end as far as safety is concerned. Now, corner and nickel, yes, I think you're exactly right. They are really, really good, and that's even without Jermod McCoy back yet. I mean, when McCoy gets back, and it's probably sometime in the month of September, then you add an All-American to a group that, they love Colton Hood. He has had a fantastic camp. You talk to anybody over here, and I'm talking about the players. And you guys know you play. The players always know who's making plays. And, they all just rave about Colton Hood, the Colorado transfer that Tennessee kind of just stumbled into back during the spring window when he decided to leave Colorado right before the window closed. And then Ricky Gibson's put on 23 pounds. He's an Alabama kid who, to me, again, contract year is his third year. He went from 160 to 183 over the offseason, and I think he can be really, really good. And so, it's probably the safety spot. It's probably the biggest concern for me heading into this on the back end of the defense.
All right, I want to leave you with this. Austin Price covers Tennessee Volunteers, joining us on the Higginbotham Hotline. We heard Joey a week or so ago talking about once he was named the starter. Listen, it's not that different. We haven't had really any issues. You mentioned not a lot of concerns. But this offense is different, Austin, and what he's going to be asked to do is going to be different. Accuracy in some of the easier high percentage throws is going to be needed. He might be able to push the ball down the field, but he is a little turnover prone. Most of Josh's quarterbacks have not been. What are you hearing about maybe some of the hurdles, speed bumps, obstacles for him that have been somewhat troublesome in this offense as we near the opener?
He's gotten better from the start of fall camp to now. Like, he's progressed every week. Like, going from scrimmage 1 to scrimmage 2, Cole, that's when he won the job. I mean, he was already trending that way, but he just slammed the door shut with his performance in scrimmage 2, with his ability to process, his ability to manage and run the offense the way Coach Heupel and Coach Halsley want him to. That's where he's kind of just got better and better and better. I do wonder, do the wide splits, does Tennessee's ability to run the football at a successful rate the way they've done under Josh Heupel, does that help him out? Because at Appalachian State, he was running for his life. He did not have a great run game around him, and he did put the ball in harm's way. Does he put the ball in harm's way less because of those factors? That's something I'm interested to see if that's the case.
Always appreciate the time, Austin. Great stuff. I think you got a great game coming up. I think it's underrated how much fun this one's going to be to watch, but we look forward to having you back soon to discuss it.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
There you go. Austin Price. Find him at VolQuest, Higginbotham Hotline, where he joined us. On the other side, if you missed earlier in the show, Greg McElroy came in unable to move his neck, couldn't look side to side. Neck was bothering him. He just said, I've tried everything, tried to roll it out. We've tried Advil. I said, I got a guy. We'll get him in here later in the show. We'll get you dry needled on air.
Mm.
Now, all of a sudden, Greg's scared.
I ain't scared. I'm just not sure if this is how I'm wanting to start my Tuesday. Tuesday, 17 days. Do I really want to get poked 1,000 times?
Garth Garrels tweets in, my wife's physical therapist, so I get dry needled a lot. Buckle up, Greg. It's going to feel like a very brief, intense cramps, then it will release.
Oh, perfect.
Please let him needle the bottom of your foot. I'll pay to hear the reaction on
That's definitely what, you know what? I've always heard that if you go bottom of the foot, it fixes your neck.
Who doesn't know that?
It's wavelengths, Cole.
What was our website earlier?
GoodRx.
GoodRx.com. That's what they said.
Fix your foot, fix the neck. Perfect.
Back hurts, try needle foot. Elbow hurts, try needle foot.
They always say legs feed the wolf. I probably should just get some in the hammies. I'm going to look like Nutty Professor where he's trying to lose weight with just needles all over my back.
Okay. Well, if you really need to lose weight, you can go to Game Day Men's Health. Just go to GameDayMen'sHealth.com today. Sign up for the free consultation. They're going to present the weight loss options that they have. Other options like peptides, testosterone replacement, all in-house. They can help you with all of it, and it's easy. Go to GameDayMen'sHealth.com today. Sign up for the free consultation. You go in, free PSA test, free testosterone test. They tell you where your baseline health is. Then they present the ways that they can help you. Locker room environment, no stress. Not going to try to push you into programs that you don't need. Holistic approach to health and wellness. Minimal upfront cost for the programs they offer. Remember that. That's important because other places in town don't offer that. Minimal upfront cost for the programs they offer at Game Day Men's Health. Go to GameDayMen'sHealth.com today. Sign up for that free consultation. Mention Mac and Cube. Save 10% on every service they offer. Greg will be dry needled in the neck next on Mac and Cube in the morning.
Go inside Jocks 94.5 on Jocks TV. Morning Jocks, Mac and Cube, three-man front video simulcasts are presented by Bill Smith Buick GMC and Game Day Men's Health. Watch on the Jocks mobile app and YouTube by searching Jocks 94.5 TV.